Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your October 2016 mid-month readings. I am using my beloved Gilded Tarot deck by artist Cyril Marchetti. And even though we are looking more at the remainder of October rather than the month in its entirety, I am still going to be using the same 8-card spread I typically do, with an additional ninth card from the bottom of the deck as your crowning card representing overall energy and advice. These are general readings, so as always, make sure to check your rising and your moon sign as well. If this is your primary sun sign, it may or may not resonate for you, or it may only resonate for you in different areas of your life. Watching all three of your signs, if you know them and are able to watch all three, just gives you more pieces of the puzzle so that you can put together a picture of the time frame that the readings cover. So try to watch all three if you can, because there's so many of you watching and it's going to play out differently, of course, for everyone watching. Thank you for those of you who continue to watch, continue to follow my YouTube channels. Thank you for those of you who like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support and your feedback and your comments. I love those comments. Keep them coming, both the ones on my YouTube channels and the ones that some of you take the time to send via email. I really like reading how the readings play out for you in your lives. Thank you so much for sharing with me. And thank you, of course, to those of you who continue to reach out for one-on-one personal readings. As I always say, it is an honor and a pleasure to read for you, and I'm grateful for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you in your personal lives. And thank you to my regular clients for all your wonderful, consistent updates and how those readings continue to play forward. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before, for more information, you can click on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, which will give you a little more information in detail. And my contact information, you can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to do a reading with you if you are interested. In terms of turnaround time, I do readings full time, 6 days a week, so I'm able to get back with you pretty quickly and schedule a reading within a timely fashion. Anywhere, it can be realistically anywhere from 2 or 3 days up to a week and a half to 2 weeks, but almost always within 2 weeks we can set something up for you. So send me an email if you're interested in that, and we will coordinate something. So moving right along, let's get into this. This reading is for Pisces for October 2016, mid-month. Show me the energies for the water sign of Pisces, my lovely mercurial fish. What does the remainder of the beautiful month of October have in store for the Pisceans? God, Spirit, Angels, Guide, show me the energies for the water sign of Pisces for the remainder of October 2016. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? What do they need to see to help guide them through the remainder of October 2016? Energies for the water sign of Pisces. October 2016, mid-month. Okay. Okay, Pisces, we begin with the Page of Swords, followed by the Seven of Wands. The Three of Swords, followed by the King of Pentacles. The Six of Swords, followed by Death or Transformation. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Magician. Wow. Powerful way to end the month, Pisces. And from the bottom of the deck, overall energy and advice is the Eight of Cups. Looks like a powerful remainder of October for a lot of you, particularly ending it. You end it with a real punch in a positive way. Looks like some of you are standing up and speaking up for either yourselves or somebody else. Let me just take another look at this. Okay. All right, Pisces, let's begin. So we find ourselves around the middle of October, though I'm actually recording these around the 10th through the 12th, more or less, time being fluid anyway. So for the remainder of October, at the beginning of this time period, we find ourselves with the energy of the Page of Swords, followed by the Seven of Wands. I'm feeling some very strong, assertive, perhaps even aggressive energy, but in a positive way for a lot of you. So the Page of Swords. Swords is governed by the element of air. It's a suit about that airy world of our thoughts, what goes on up in our heads. It's a suit that governs mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. It's about words, ideas, thoughts, outlooks, perspectives, perceptions, our belief systems, how we look at things, what we think about things, our ideas. Pages can represent the youngest and least mature energies of the tarot. It can represent that the situation this is about for the remainder of October for you could have something to do with a child or a young person in your life. Pages can also represent messages and messengers. And this would be, in that case, this would be a message that is delivered in a rather sometimes blunt way because he's the Page of Swords. He's more about getting the facts right to the point, very practical, quick energy. Sometimes can represent a message delivered in a manner that's not entirely compassionate or nice. But the Page of Swords also has a deeper significance, and I'm feeling that really strongly for a lot of you Pisceans for the remainder of October. The Page of Swords can represent being in a situation where you need to speak, sometimes a moral or ethical dilemma where you feel compelled or a sense of pressure to speak up about something. Swords is a suit that's all about our ideas and ideals. And, we always strive to reach the highest ideals, taking the higher road whenever possible, speaking up for right when we see something going on that's wrong. The Page of Swords can represent being in a challenging position and sometimes feeling kind of alone in it, feeling like you need to speak up about something, speak the truth about something. Um, and that's the energy that's actually coming through. It's like you want to stand up and speak the truth about something, speak your feelings or opinions about something. One, because you feel they need to be heard. And two, for some of you, I feel like the person you're going to be speaking it to or the thing you're going to be standing up to or against needs to hear what you have to say. And it has something to do with your own growth and strength too. The beautiful consequence of the energy of the Page of Swords is even when we find ourselves in these difficult and challenging positions where we need to stand up and speak up for something, whether it's fighting for our own rights or somebody else's, or we're in a situation where we know something that's going on or we've seen something that's wrong or unethical, even though it can feel quite challenging and sometimes can come at a cost. Um, the benefits that we get from it in our own personal strength and character, the messages we give to ourselves, particularly our higher selves and the people around that are aware of it too, are really invaluable. So the Page of Swords represents kind of being in that energy I'm feeling for a lot of you. There's a situation, a relationship, something that's happened that you want to say something about. You want to stand up and say something about it quite strongly. But being in that position is kind of challenging. Some of you may be like, I want to say something. Do I say something? Do I stay out of it? But I feel like what's going on is wrong or what has happened is wrong and I need to speak up. Now that Page of Swords is paired with the Seven of Wands. Which is actually a very complementary card in terms of this energy because it is a defensive card as well. Wands is governed by the element of fire. It's a suit that's very active and fluid and action oriented. It governs change, action, movement, power. It's an active suit and it rules creating, manifesting, building. It can represent careers, projects as well. The Seven of Wands is a defensive card. It's a card that can represent standing up and defending something that you believe strongly in, whether it's an actual thing, something that you've worked for, an idea, a belief system. It can represent standing up for or with somebody else who's maybe unable to stand up for themselves, protecting and guarding something that you feel very strongly about because you've invested so much of yourself into it. You can see the man on this card is standing in front of the door to his home, his castle, his keep, whatever it is that means so much to him, because because he feels like it's being challenged or threatened somehow, and he's protecting it, defending it, guarding it, because he feels so strongly about it. And for some of you, this is, this is of course going to play out differently depending on who's watching. I feel like this combination of energy, and it's coming through so strongly. For some of you, it's something which has happened to you, um, or is happening to you, or that you're faced with, that you feel just you have to stand up and speak some kind of truth about it, or express your feelings about it, how you feel about it. For some of you, it's going to be about somebody that's close to you that has gone through something very difficult and painful or challenging lately, or is going through it right now, and you're actually a source of support. But there's something about your helping them in terms of being their voice or speaking up for them. It could be a wrong that you know of that's going on that you feel compelled to speak up against, or out against. It could be standing up for somebody else. For some of you, it could be a belief system that's being challenged. Or an actual moral, ethical situation that's playing out that you feel somebody needs to know the truth about. I feel for a lot of you, it's about a situation which has caused you or someone very close to you a fair amount of pain, actual emotional pain, because right next to it we have the combination of the Three of Swords and the King of Pentacles. And I'm feeling this King of Pentacles as an actual individual. Now it's showing up as a king, but since this is a general reading, there's so many of you watching, it could be a female as well. But for a lot of you, it is going to represent a male individual. So the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is often considered the heartbreak card, heartache. It represents deep emotional pain. It can represent a breakup, a feeling of betrayal. Sometimes in relationships or relationship difficulties or breakups, it can represent a betrayal of trust, perhaps in issues of infidelity or cheating. But emotional pain, deep emotional pain, or a sense of disappointment that's almost crushing. Painful, challenging. Now, it's paired with the King of Pentacles. So, Pentacles is governed by the element of earth. It's a suit that rules things in our earthly, material, tangible environment, often, you know, finances, money, property, resources, assets, etc. But the energy is, rooted, solid, stable, reliable because it's that earth energy. The King of Pentacles, kings and queens representing individuals who have ideally reached the mastery of their suit. They tend to be older, more mature, reflective individuals. This King of Pentacles would likely, his sun, moon, or rising would be in earth, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It would represent somebody who's got a pretty good material or physical foundation for themselves. They've worked long and hard to build that up for themselves, and they believe everybody else should have the same opportunities too. In terms of character and energy, they would be very solid, dependable, reliable individuals. Uh, Great earth signs, a great provider feel off of them, trustworthy, there when you need them. Very hard workers, very astute in matters of business and finance and just navigating the day-to-day aspects of that world because that's what they're good at, and they're ruled by that earth element. So they're very good at that kind of day-to-day navigating the material world, the financial world as well. Good person to seek financial advice from too. So he or she is paired with this Three of Swords. So the story's going to split off here. For some of you, whatever it is that you're speaking up against, expressing yourself, defending, speaking up for some of you, it's going to be you. And you're speaking your truth. You're speaking your feelings about something which has hurt you quite a bit, or you're feeling quite a bit of emotional pain over, and perhaps even a sense of betrayal. And for some of you, that's the source of that is this King of Pentacles individual. For some of you, this could be somebody that you care deeply about that was hurt, represented by the King of Pentacles, and you are helping them. You are speaking for them, or you are being a source of support for them, and helping them, defending them, speaking up for them somehow. I keep getting this speaking, being their voice for some of you. It's interesting. You'll have to let me know, for those of you for whom that makes sense, what exactly that means. Um, Yes, you've been hurt, or someone very close to you has been hurt, somebody that you care about, and you're speaking up for them. You're defending something too. For some of you, um, this doesn't necessarily have to relate to a relationship. This can relate to also in the Pentacles world. This can relate to business, career, job, something happening in your work environment, something going on that you feel is wrong that's happened to somebody else or that's happened to you, and you're like, this is not right, this is not ethical, I need to speak up, I need to defend this. It could be that you're defending your actual job, your position as well, and you're feeling almost like, again, a sense of emotional hurt or perhaps even betrayal from it, in your work environment or career path in general. And again, the source is this King of Pentacles, or perhaps you're going through it. For some of you, you could be going through it with the King of Pentacles. But it's about needing to speak the truth, needing to express your feelings, and fight for something that you believe in, or help somebody else protect, defend, and hold truth to something. It's about not giving ground, not giving in, not submitting, even though it's been it's a painful place for you to be in, for some of you, or have just recently been in. And this is going to be a very transformational experience for you and anyone involved, particularly if you're going through it with someone or you're being this source of support and this voice for somebody else, Pisces. Because right next to that, we have the Six of Swords paired with death, transformation. So the Six of Swords is a card about moving through and slowly away from a difficult, challenging, painful situation, which I think part of speaking your truth and standing up for, doing everything that you can, is going to enable you to move through this easier, or at least knowing that you did the right thing and you spoke your truth. You said what you needed to say. You did what you felt needed to be done, even if it came at a high cost. But again, the rewards you get and the benefits you get in terms of personal growth and character are priceless. So remember that. So the Six of Swords represents that transitional energy of beginning to move through, removing yourself from this. It's not having reached there. It's the energy of beginning to move through it. The bottom's already been reached. The worst has happened, and this card represents the healing beginning, the moving away from it, and through it. Uh, it's a more quiet, sometimes somber card, but it is healing too and restorative. It's finally moving away from it. The bottom, you hit the bottom, whatever the situation was that came to an end. You stood up, you spoke your truth, you defended it, you stood by it, whatever it was. And I think part of that, and or you're helping somebody else do it, and it's helping you and perhaps somebody else move through and away from this energy a little easier. It's a healing time. The cautionary advice to the Six of Swords is it can be a card of a lack of forgiveness because she is taking these six swords with her, which can represent whatever it is she's coming from, or perhaps lessons learned, which is positive. So the cautionary advice would be to try to move forward with as little bitterness and unforgiveness as possible, because that only ends up, harming you in the long run anyway. And again, I think this standing up, defending, speaking your truth energy enables you to move through it and not hold on to those kind of negative feelings quite so much. This can represent actual travel for some of you. This beginning to heal and recover and move through, or help somebody else or with somebody else doing this, can represent that part of that moving away is actually physical. You may be taking a trip, or relocating for some of you. But it is a good card. Quiet but healing. A healing process has begun. You're not in that settled, it's all over place yet, but you're moving through that. And again, very transformative experience. It's paired with death, transformation, major arcana cards, significant, profound energies, a real significant life change and life shift. And it represents the ending of something, the death of a way of life, a way of looking at something, a situation, again, which feels like it needed to end, or it was time for it to come to an end, even though it looks like there was quite a bit of emotional pain in there for you, perhaps for somebody else as well. But it is about a cycle of your life coming to an end. This is a chapter kind of ending, which means that what you're moving into is new beginnings as well, beautiful new beginnings, because rebirth always follows death. Beginnings always follow endings. That's just how it goes. It's transformative. It's transformative. You're moving into a new beginning and rebirth. You're just in that healing process of it. You're kind of getting out of it and moving through it now. Very transformative. Now, at or towards the end of the month, you really kind of come into your own Pisces, and you don't whatever this situation, you and perhaps somebody else. It's about taking control back of your life for a lot of you and coming to the realization, which probably comes from having had the courage and the strength to stand up and speak whatever it is that you needed to speak, defend whatever it is you feel needed to be defended. Um, it enables you to kind of take charge of your life again and feel that sense of, I don't need this. I have everything that I need to create my own life, my own happiness, my own path. We have a really powerful combination at the end of October, moving into November. We have the Nine of Pentacles with the major arcana card of the Magician. Strong, independent, very self-empowering combination. The Knight of Pentacles, we have that lovely earth energy again. For some of you, this could be job, career, relationship situation, or a job that you end up walking away from or get downsized from or something. But it actually is something that you need to move away from, because moving away from it frees you and it also empowers you. You don't need it. And this is a card of realizing that. It's also a card of abundance and prosperity too. You could be moving away from some financial restrictions or collars of some kind, or perhaps a relationship where you were kind of financially tied up or bound in some way. The Nine of Pentacles does represent prosperity and abundance, more related to your physical or material or worldly environment. But it's also a card of self-sufficiency, independence, and self-empowerment as well, because this woman is in a position at a place where she's enjoying a lot of things that symbolize physical comforts or luxuries or being able to take care of herself. And the self empowerment feeling comes from the fact that everything she's currently enjoying are the fruits of her own labor. She's earned everything, it hasn't been handed to her on a silver platter. She's worked very hard and she's earned everything she's now currently enjoying, which gives her that added sense of self empowerment and independence and self sufficiency. I don't need to depend on whatever this is or was anymore. I can take care of myself, and I am taking care of myself. And I can be successful in creating my own abundance and happiness, whatever that means to you. And it is even more strongly underscored with the accompanying card, which is the Magician, which is exactly where he is at too. Major Arcana energy. The Magician is a very intelligent individual. He's walked a fair long road of life already. He's learned a lot through trial and error, lots of practice, failure, triumph. He's learned through everything. He hasn't allowed himself to get stuck in any phase. He's learned from everything. And he's now at the place where he has the tools, the knowledge, the experience, the practice, the wisdom to create whatever he wants to create, manifest whatever he wants to manifest, build whatever he wants to build. He doesn't need to depend on or rely on anybody else. At all, unless he chooses to, because he has everything he needs to create his own life, his own happiness, his own abundance, his own foundation. Powerful, beautiful way to end the month. It's like at the beginning, you're standing up, maybe a little scared, but you're determined to speak your truth, to try and write something to defend, protect, whatever, even if you don't end up winning per se, meaning hanging on to something. It looks like there's an ending, but a needed and necessary ending. It looks like it was painful and emotionally challenging for you or for somebody else or for both of you together. Moving through and away from that, the healing is beginning, the moving away through that is beginning, and you end the month realizing that you have what you need to manifest and build your own life and your own happiness, whatever the situation regards. It's very, very strong and very clear at the end. Lovely energy, Pisces. So overall energy, your crowning card is the Eight of Cups. It's the only Cups card you have, which is about emotions and feelings. Cups is governed by the element of water, so it's all about that watery, fluid, emotional world of feelings, emotions, relationships, love. The water element is your element, Pisces. The Eight of Cups is a card of leaving, of definitively, decisively, and assertively having made the decision to walk away, to turn your back on something that you ultimately found to be disillusioning, disappointing, not what you wanted, not what you thought it was going to be or what it was presented to be, whether that's in love and relationships, whether that's in business and career. This is not a wishy washy card. It's a card of saying, okay, I'm standing up, I'm done with this, I've made the decision to move on. I may not be sure exactly what direction I'm going in, but I have made the decision to turn my back on this and walk away because he has decisively. These cups, 8 cups represent, some of them are tipped over and spilled out, some of them are upright. It implies that he's tasted and drunk from at least most of them, if not all of them. And it wasn't what he wanted. He was disappointed, disillusioned by him, and he has made up his mind. He is done, and he is walking away. His back is turned to us. He's dressed for travel. He's got his hat on, his cloak on. He's surveying the horizon and trying to decide which way he's going to go. And there's a certain amount of allowing his intuition to lead him too, which the moon card often signifies as well, tapping into our intuitive knowing and allowing that to kind of lead us through. But it's about leaving that behind, that which is no longer fulfilling, is not serving you, has caused you pain, was not what it was presented to be. It's no longer serving you, and it's about leaving that behind, a complete ending of a chapter so that you can move through it, heal, recover, and begin a new chapter of your life. Have a new beginning, and you have absolutely everything that you need, Pisces, to create it. You don't need to be dependent or reliant on anybody else for your own happiness, your joy, your abundance, your life itself in any area. You can. It's always nice to have people there to support us and to rely on if we need that. But you do have quite strongly indicated here everything that you need. That you don't have to be chained to a person or a situation. To create that happiness or that foundation for yourself in your life. So beautiful, beautiful reading, Pisces, and quite powerful and empowering as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you find it useful, at least that it gives you a little bit of wisdom and insight in walking through the remainder of October. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal reading, you can click on that little about button, and you can also email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be happy to work with you. Thank you so very much for watching, Pisces. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the November. I can't believe it already. The November 2016 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.